Hey guys, Luna here, back with another Destiny 2 update video. Today we have some cool stuff to go over from the last 24 hours. Only one official Destiny piece of news, the rest is some interesting stuff found by the community, including showing you guys how it's determined what level loot is dropped for you in-game. If you enjoy and find it useful, leave a like, it's very much appreciated, and we can jump into this. So first, I wanted to get the official Destiny 2 news out of the way. It's announced today on Bungie's Twitter that the Trials of the 9 map Eternity has been released and is available to play as part of the competitive playlist. So now when you're playing the competitive playlist, you'll have to make sure you constantly have the Mida multi-tool equipped, which I do as it's my main PvP weapon, as it's pretty much the only weapon that people use for that map. The map for the last week has only been available for trials, which hopefully now it's no longer loadout locked, we'll get some more variety in the weapons used during it, especially as you get different game modes now. So the Mida might not always be the best choice, although it's still a pretty open map where it's easy to pick people off at a distance, but we'll just have to wait and see. So if you enjoy this map, you can now play it in a fire team or solo on the playlist for competitive. Also guys, a little something else about the Crucible, discovered by someone called Hayden O. Smith on Twitter, and it's a screenshot of shacks showing 3 screens in the background. Each has a different logo on them. One is the logo with 2 swords, and that's on the right, which is the logo for quick play. The middle is the logo for the competitive playlist in the Crucible, and there is a third one there, and that is actually for private games. So we might also potentially see private or custom matches in the Crucible at some point. Our final 3 things to talk about today guys are all related to engrams and loot. First is that it was confirmed by Bungie that weapon and armor mods are not taken into consideration for the level of loot that drops in the game, and here is the story on it. On Twitter, a guy called David Out asked Destiny reward designer Daniel Ockenpaw to clear up the debate about what factors determine the level of loot rewards in engram drops. And Daniel then replied, mods aren't factored into drops, and he just said hopefully that clears that up. So what does this mean? Well, only the base power of your items is taken into account when determining the power level of your drops and quest rewards. So the vast majority of rewards, except some special rewards that have fixed power levels, will be based on your base power level. So for example, my light is 294, but I have 7 mods equipped giving me an extra 35 power. So I don't take this off the 294 as that's my average power, I take it off the total power. So I work out what the power of all my gear combined is, which is around 2352. I subtract the 35 from that to get me 2317, and then I have to average this. So I have 8 pieces of gear, I divide by 8, this gives me 289. And all gear found in the game that's not luminous or exotic is always 5 levels below your base power level, so 5 below 289 is 284, and that is the level you can see me decrypting my legendary engram at. So that is how it works. So it's not a good idea to mod a piece of gear if your intention for that mod is only to increase the level of your future drops and rewards, as it won't work. But if you're level 280, it doesn't matter too much because you can buy mods anyway. And also guys, remember, items in your vault, postmaster, and also your other characters' inventories are all taken into account for your drops. And that also brings us to the next point about Luminous Engrams and the power level of those on alternate characters. So if you've reached the point where you have nothing to do except wait for the weekly milestones to level up, you can always start a new character, and you get Luminous Engrams for them, and you can share inventory across all characters. So it's a new way to level up if you haven't done so. But you may have heard some people leveling up a second character of the same class and getting a bug where the milestone did not reward them with new powerful gear. Well, it was confirmed by Bungie on Twitter that this was in fact not a bug, and here is the reply to the response from the person who originally asked. He says, I spoke with the dev team about this. They said the secondary character of the same class don't get the weekly power bonus. Bungie didn't want to force players to have 3 of the same class to create the optimal way to increase their power level. So guys, basically you can boost your power level in game with multiple characters, but you can only do so by playing as 3 different classes. So you'll have to do it with Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. Of course, it would be the best way to do this with all 3 of the same class, as that way you could only get gear that you can use. So for example, if I main a Hunter, which I do, I can end up with my most powerful item being an exotic Warlock chestplate. And so if I go back to my Hunter, any Luminous Engrams I get will take that into consideration, because you only get Luminous Engrams based on items that you can equip, and of course the Hunter can't equip that. But of course you could always infuse these items together and do it kind of that way. It would still have been a lot easier if you could just focus on one character. So guys, that's just something to consider. If you're going to level up a new characters, make sure you do it once with Hunter, Warlock, and once with Titan. Anyway, that brings us to our final section. If you're a collector and trying to get all the white items in game, a Reddit user discovered a white engram loot cave. The loot cave is found within the story mission Spark, and this mission is right after you visit the farm for the first time. In this mission, you visit the shard of the Traveler and you get your light back. At one section though, you will find a burning ship, and it has about 10 drags that come out of the ground. Every time you kill them, one will spawn a white engram. After killing them, you can kill yourself on the flames of the ship, and you can respawn to get the engram over and over. So if you're trying to collect all the items in game, that's an easy way to get loads of whites for you. Well guys, that's about it for the news in Destiny 2 today. We had some useful stuff there, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like and comment plus subscribe if you haven't done so. I will be seeing you all tomorrow. It's Friday, so I have more useful stuff to tell you, plus it's Xur, Trials of the Nine, and more. So I will see all of you guys then.